It's a Brother Streep garage of groundbreaking inventions.
Welcome to the Brother Streep garage of groundbreaking inventions. This is a show where we pitch made-up inventions that are going to make your life more interesting and more exciting, as well as discussing some already existing inventions. My name is Andrew, and on my right we have the highly esteemed Dylan Streep.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thanks for coming. And on my left we have the highly accredited Simon Streep.
Thank you. Why is your sock in this garage?
Well, it's a garage and it's mine, so...
Do you think this is a groundbreaking invention?
Well, if I hit my foot on the ground hard enough in the sock, it's going to break the ground.
Okay, fair enough.
So, the theme of this week's show is the automobile. Does anyone have any ideas?
Well, okay, I'll step in here. I don't know if you've used the GPS on your cellular telephone before. There's Google Maps, there's Apple Maps, there probably other types of maps. I don't know, but I know the Google Maps one works well, and it gets me from A to B. You type in where you want to go, and then it tells you turn left, turn right, and it's worked almost 100%. There was this one occasion where I wanted to go to a very popular cheese and wine farm, and I just ended up at some random guy's house because he obviously, in a bored moment, I went, "I am the cheese and wine farm." Maybe he was some sort of killer that had a penchant for people that like dairy and cheese or something. I don't know what it might be, but
It is strange. You hear these people who say they've followed the thing to... I'm sending my TomTom back. I followed it to a T. I ended up in a volcano. You think, why didn't you just look up? And then you say, completely lost the
it's on
abilities.
stage and was like, turn left into the Grand Canyon. Like, maybe I'll turn right. But so it works pretty well. But the one complaint I would have is that when you're listening to music in your car and it's connected via Bluetooth, it fades out your music and says turn left and fades it back in. And if you're in like a small town with lots of tiny roads and places to turn, it gets very annoying. So I've come up
especially if it's to the left.
Turn right, to the left.
Just do a circle. So I've come up with is a groundbreaking idea, groundbreaking invention. Andrew, you're going to love it. You're going to want one.
Cool.
Is that it gets involved in the song you're listening to. So it all requires basic pitch recognition, and all of a sudden your GPS is singing directions at you. So, for example, let's take a really good hit on the radio right now. Something like, "Oh, when the Saints go marching on. Oh, when the Saints go, turn right in 500 meters. Oh, I want to be in that number. When the Saints turn right now." And then you just follow it.
How fast were you driving? That's good.
Well, I make very good time in my car. So that's it's not going to bug you anymore. Fair enough, it's going to be harder to know what the lyrics are going to be.
Yeah.
Unless you're really good at distance and knowing where you're going.
That's true. I mean, the main problem is if there are already lyrics, as we've discussed in the song, saying, "I'm in a hole, I'm so depressed." You don't want to drive into the hole that you see on the road. I'm sure there's a song out there with
I'm in a hole, I'm so depressed.
Look, I do like Coldplay, so you never know.
That's true.
Fair enough. So that's just my idea.
I quite like it. I mean, you're going to struggle to sing back, as you said, a song. Every time you listen to the song, it's going to be different.
I guess
that could be a good thing.
Thing is, if you did know what the lyrics were coming up, then you probably wouldn't be needing the GPS anyway. If you were that clever to know that in 400 meters I'm going to turn down...
You'd start releasing your own singles of just your routes to work and stuff.
So, I reckon
Okay,
could work.
That's good.
Well, I've got something that's also kind of music based in a way. You know, sometimes you end up at the traffic light and it takes forever to change. And you think, what could I be doing here that's more constructive than just sitting here thinking about how this is taking forever to change? And, Simon, you play drums, I play drums. Andrew, you don't play drums, but put your mind in a drummer's mind.
You could play drums.
You probably could if you tried.
You've definitely got arms and legs. You could play drums.
I thought maybe if you had the steering wheel kind of converts to a snare drum thing, like those electronic kits you see people play in
This
shops.
is basically Bop It.
It's quite a lot like Bop It or Rock Band or one of these things. So you have the steering wheel as a snare. You've already got pedals, so that's good. You've got the option to play with the radio with the song you're playing. So you just, it's just a snare really, but maybe little extra pads could come out for cymbals and toms and things. And you're playing along and you're sitting there beating away on the drums and stuff, and it's awesome. And this is the kicker, if you want to get really good at drums, you feel like you need a metronome, indicator. It kind of works. Tick tock, and you're playing along. and then hopefully,
But now I got one problem that I've already foreseen. I don't want to shut it down before Andrew's managed to jump off and market it to everyone.
yeah.
But you've mentioned that you're going to be using the pedals.
Right.
Surely, if it's quite a fast song and there's lots of bass drum pedal, you're just going to end up bashing into the car in front of you.
Yes, but you see, there's a little button that you press.
There's always a
little button.
Yeah.
You press a little button. It's kind of under there, and you hit it,
okay.
and then the pedals become loose. They become drum pedals.
They become.
Yeah.
What I
Electronically.
What I love about these, electronically. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're not they just turn into a transformer.
No.
Because you're coming up with some weird science in these shows. Just press a button.
This is
Now
basically.
you've been drumming along,
Yeah.
and then suddenly the car in front of you brakes, and you need to quickly brake, but your pedals
No,
are
you're
loose.
drumming while
Your
you're
pedals are loose.
driving.
Your pedals are loose, and then you've got to reach under for the button.
This is the dumbest thing. This is clearly when you're sitting there waiting,
Okay,
or
right.
maybe
No,
you've
no.
gone to the shops and you've gone, and somebody else has gone with you, and they've taken longer at the shop. So you've gone back to the car, and you've gone, I'm sick of that song on the radio. I'm going to just play drums.
That's true. But I know you guys are drummers and you're really into your music.
Yeah.
And so you're drumming along to one of your favorite beats.
Right.
The robot goes green. You're not going to
yeah.
stop. There's no ways.
That
You're
could
going to
be
be
the
sitting there
problem.
going like this. Cars behind you are going to be hitting. You're not going to hear
Yeah,
them
what
because
is
of the
he
sound of the
doing?
drumming. Then you're going to get pulled over by the cops. And he's not going to like it when he says,
Right.
what were you doing? And he said, I was just waiting for you. And that's not going to go down well.
Oh, you say that, but you've opened up a whole nother thing here. You could punchline all your jokes in the car on family holidays.
But you're on something here. What if you used, you just applied this idea to other things in the car? So your seatbelt, hop. Could work.
That's a
I
very
like
good
the
idea.
musical car.
Yeah.
Okay, I think.
I mean, think of the
quite-
karaoke that they could release on radio. You'd pay something on a cell phone probably, and then karaoke would come out, and it would be songs, drum beats, and you'd be the drummer in the band.
Totally. Oh, in the sand, turning right. Oh, in the sand. Well, okay, if you don't like that idea, Andrew, I've got one that might just blow your mind.
Okay.
Now, you look like a man that respects free will, right?
That's me.
So long as it's not going to harm anyone, like me, you're like, free will, do it. Jump into a barrel, roll down Table Mountain. So long as you're not going to hit someone on the way. Yes, it's not the wisest thing that you can do with your spare time, but it's free will. You should be allowed to do it. Are you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you on this.
You're going to love my idea. Because if you like me, there's nothing that gets your goat. Have you ever had something get your goat, Andrew?
Not since the 40s.
If you're anything like me, you're going to hate it when an inanimate object starts getting in the way of your free will. So for example, when you're trying to delete the system files in Windows and the computer's like, oh no, what do you think you're doing? Like, no, I want to, it's not wise. Yes, my computer might not work again, but I should be allowed to do it.
Yeah.
So in cars, the seatbelt pinging sound that happens all the time when you haven't put your seatbelt in. To me, that should be a decision. It shouldn't be forced upon you by some sort of sound you're making. It sounds like you're driving a freaking microwave that's just finished cooking a meal if you don't put your seatbelt in, and that's just not fair.
Okay.
So I've come up with, the lights do it. I don't know if you've heard the light. I don't mind the light.
The lights do. That's
I don't mind the
helpful.
light binging because in most cases you haven't deliberately left your lights on. It's a friendly reminder. It's like
Oh,
you're going,
that's
Unless
a
you're hunting rabbits.
lifesaver.
yeah, it's like me going, hello, don't worry, it's on. And then you're like, okay, cool, that's fine.
Yeah.
But when the seatbelt does it, it's like, you've generally chosen to drive without a seatbelt. You've driven a car long enough to know safety first.
It's like the car is telling on you of all the other people in the car.
Yeah.
It's like, he's not wearing his seatbelt. That's what
Exactly.
it's doing.
So my invention, very simple. Some guys just start selling buckles that you can just buy and put into your seatbelt so it stops the noise. And it's not, because some
Sure.
people are like, no, I'll sort this out, and they just cut off their buckle from their current seatbelt, and then you've diminished value in your car.
And you never have the option to be safe.
Exactly, and I believe you should have the option to be safe, but the option to be slightly reckless. Like, I'm going to drive to the shops without my seatbelt on.
It's funny because that's what, like when we were younger, you almost were or weren't cool depending on whether or not you put a seatbelt on. Does anyone remember that? Like school field trips or something like that. It's like, whose mom is lifting? Okay, put your seatbelt on. And it's like, put it on. Yes, now I'm safe. Now I'm not going to die. Thanks, Mom. But instead it was like, wow, what a nerd. He wears a seatbelt. Speed kills.
And if you were like wanting to be cool, and also you could just like hold it down there but not clip it in.
Oh,
So your
man.
mom thought that it was clipped in.
More
Oh.
effort worth.
Then your friends are like, oh, I didn't have any
Did that
friends.
happen?
No,
Thing
it
is,
didn't.
you've gone out of your way to not be safe in this situation.
It's just-
I
I
don't
feel-
understand why.
I feel you just need the option. It's annoying that something that can't talk to me, it can't, cuddle me at night.
Yeah.
Why is this thing having such a big hold on my life?
It's true, but unfortunately it's also illegal.
I've been in cars where they have a similar thing, but it's not based on whether the buckle's in. Oh, it is, but the fact that they know you're in the car is based on the weight in the seat. So you often, if you're just going a short distance, you think, oh, seatbelt, that's a huge loss. And then you kind of prop yourself up. It's like, I want to lose enough weight that the thing doesn't even let you not wear a seatbelt.
Yeah, because the Flockhart won't have that problem. Drives around. I didn't make wheel joke.
Another cracking reference
know.
for those
From the
1920s.
It's great.
I generally think it should be a decision that you get to make.
Fair enough.
I don't understand the people that put seatbelts on in the back seat of cars.
Yeah, you've got a chair there to stop your face
these
at
back
speed.
seatbelt putter-oners. What's up with them?
What about the middle?
I'm changing my perception of you.
the middle seat?
And
I
safety.
feel the middle seat must be the funnest in an accident because you
Straight through.
just do that and you're like Superman. You're in
Yeah.
a way out
For a
through
second.
the window. No, we say that.
It's
if
fun
you
for a
position
second.
your fingernails at the right edge, out to the
Straight
thing,
through.
brush off the glass, walk and help the other people out the car that are.
This is if
squashed
you
against
are
the seat.
Superman. though.
Yeah,
That's the problem. It's
I
not
guess
the
so.
other way around. I think people, this is just a practical thing. People need to be more intentioned with their indicating. Sometimes you're at an intersection and somebody says they're going to turn, but you can't really trust them. Maybe they're old. Maybe that indicator's been on since the morning. You never know. And you don't want to lean out in case they smash into you, obviously. So this is the front indicator. It's not on either side. It's right in the front and it's constantly flashing because you're constantly holding something, almost like those bomb vests that they don't explode because you're actually actively holding a thing. I'm thinking speed 1 here.
Okay.
So it's like that. So you have to be holding a thing to go, yes, I am intentionally driving forward right now. Everyone, you know my intentions. Or it's the other way around. There's that one on the way from my house to your house when people always turn right, they always veer right, but very occasionally they go straight. And there needs to be a straight indicator for the times when people think you're going to go right or left. And you want to actually go straight. Or maybe you come to an actual T-junction and this is the point in your life where you feel like going, stuff the rules, I'm going into a meadow. I'm breaking down a fence and there's nothing you can do to stop me. You can see that I'm going to do it. I've got my indicator on.
So it's legal. It's okay.
So it's fine.
Don't ask me to come back and fix your fence.
Yeah.
I told
I'll
you.
be
I was
long
gonna
gone.
do it.
You'll see my 4 sets of brake lights in the distance.
I quite like that idea because it solves the problem at circles. Because I don't know if you've often
Circles. What is the rule?
If you're doing left, that's fine. But if you're doing anything other than left, no one knows if you're going to all of a sudden go straight or veer off to the right. So that solves that problem.
Because I think you're the first person I noticed doing the double change in a circle, where you indicate the one way, and then once you've gone, I've gone enough.
Safety first. I might not wear a seatbelt.
Yeah.
But I do indicate.
It's like you've decided I've turned enough in this circle. I'm going out, and then you flick it over and you go. Whereas I just kind of go, there's a gap. I'm going. People throw finger signs at me. Whatever, man. It's a free circle.
So with your device, do you have to be holding something at all times? So if
That's
you're
the
going
idea.
right, you're holding right.
No. Right and left work the same.
The same.
It's basically just to say that we're living in a society where the default is I'm going to be going straight until indicating otherwise.
Yeah.
Now, I think that is not.
Oh, the perils of living in a society which mainly drives straight.
I feel that that's just not safe. Basically, there's probably one occasion where I felt like I could have had a bit of a scrape, and I want retribution.
Okay.
All right, I like this, but do you not think you're adding almost too many lights into the equation? Because you've already got brake lights, you've already got front lights, you've already got that annoying emergency light that is either used for emergency or going, thank you very much for letting me pass, or like, I hate you.
Or I want to get some stairs, so I'm just going to park here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I do feel that you're now going, cool, we're going to add one more to make it confusing. Maybe people are going to abuse that light. Maybe
I think people might abuse the light.
if you're holding it down constantly, they might purposely, hold it in and out, and eventually big ship has come in from the docks. They thought you're a lighthouse.
Well, you see, I'm
That
worried
could be a problem, I guess.
that you've been driving around, it's fine, you've parked, you've come back to your car,
Yeah.
and let's say, for example, it makes sense if you're going forward that it should be in the middle of the steering wheel, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of where it would be if you're going straight. So you're reversing out, you put your hand on the top of the steering wheel, everyone behind you thinks you're going straight, but your brake lights are on as well. It's very confusing.
Why are my brake lights
Because
on?
you're reversing, but your indicator says you're going straight.
Wait, do
No, your brake lights don't go on when you reverse. Your
I mean, your reverse lights
go
go
on.
on, whatever.
What car do you drive?
Now you've got a forward indicator and a reverse light.
Yeah, but that's fine.
It's
because
gonna break time.
No, because the thing with that is that both people on both sides now think I'm coming for them. That's fine. At least they know. And then when I don't smash into them, that's fine. It's not like the other way around, where I'm not letting anyone know. Now, if anything, I'm letting too many people know that I could be a hazard.
Yeah.
My gut feel is that it's useful if you're wanting, cheap disco, you can't afford the lights, and you want to park your car in your lounge. But otherwise, it's too many lights.
It is a lot of lights. Okay.
That's true. Well, I must say I really enjoyed the musical interludes
Okay.
on the GPS. I think that that was probably my favorite.
What do you think I should phone up Donald Trump now,
Yeah.
or would you like to do it for me?
I'll tell you what. I'll do it later,
Okay.
and
Will you
you'll
sing-
hear no more about it.
Will you sing like a top #1 hit, such as "It's a Long Way to Tipperary," or one of those songs to sell the idea to Donald Trump?
You and your war songs.
I am from the 1920s.
What other inventions for the automobile are there?
Well, I've dug up some real inventions that are out there, and they are mostly for the motorbike
All right.
type of automobile.
I've heard of the motorbike before.
Yeah. So let's say you're driving your motorbike. Okay.
Okay, I can't really put my head into this.
Well, just
situation.
try.
I've not done it before.
Just
I
try.
will get okay.
It's like a bicycle.
There we go.
But
I'm just on my motorbike.
but a lot faster.
It's not on yet. It's just
Okay, well, you can turn it on, you're
Indicate.
going fast. Okay, that's weird. And you're traveling along and you crash. You hit a wall, all right?
No safety belt.
So, no safety belt, but you go flying.
all right.
That's where the crash wing comes into play.
Crash wing.
Yes, you are wearing the crash wing device, which is a para wing, which pops open as soon as you leave your motorbike.
and then
this
can you
thing-
just fly
And
around
then you
for a
fly and float to the ground.
These things don't exist, do they?
This is a patent.
bit? Batman probably has one of those things.
Yeah. That sounds
That's how it
awesome.
works.
I mean, if we're getting technology that's available to Batman,
Yeah.
this is a pretty good area
So
to be
you
living
think this
in.
is a good idea? Because I looked at this and thought it was mad.
I think it's a good idea, but I worry that people are going to take off and just not go back.
Depending on how fast
Yeah,
you
why
go.
All of a sudden, they're in space. and
Why
like-
would you ever go back to motorcycle as your mode of transport if you've just discovered that you can fly?
It's true.
They're pretty much just selling those to motorcycle people to get all of the motorcycle clientele. It's quite clever, actually.
Yeah, okay. Well,
I like it.
So you like that idea.
Of course.
This one is quite similar in that, but it's not focusing on the flying. This is
Okay.
called the motorcycle airbag. And basically it's a suit that you get into, all right? You attach a small cord, bungee cord, to your back and to the motorbike.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you hit a low wall or a small bushel or something, and your motorbike stops, but you go flying yet again, and you
Yeah.
don't have your crash wing.
Yeah.
Poof, bubble boy.
Exactly. Yeah. It just inflates around you, like
You
that.
see, this sounds fun, but what if you're in one of those tragic accidents where you don't leave the motorbike? You and the bike flip around together, never so far apart that the bungee cord pulls.
It's true, because
true.
if people know that they've got this, they might tend to drive more recklessly, because like being in a bubble's fun. Kids
Yeah.
willingly do that at fates and everything, where they jump
Yeah,
into those
zorbing.
bubbles and go zorbing around. So maybe it's going to market to the children.
Yeah. I mean, you'll have to get smaller suits that inflate less. Otherwise,
true.
they'll just be like,
Or for those
much.
little plastic motorbikes. But you've obviously missed like the most obvious thing here, Andrew. I know you didn't invent this, so I really shouldn't come down hard on you. It's not your fault. But imagine if you, rather than putting the sphere around you, put it around the bike.
Now we've got something.
but
Yeah.
then you're still going flying off
But you will then fly off
Even
into the
further.
sphere.
into the.
So you're on the bike. Bum,
Yeah.
bum, 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 bum. Accident. The bike somehow senses it
Yeah,
with
yeah.
its Batman
this
sensors.
massive
the sphere opens around you. You go flying.
You and the
you
bike.
go.
You and the bike.
You and the bike.
So now you're in a sphere with a
terrible
bike
idea.
rolling around.
Hear me out. Hear me out. All will happen. So you're like, whoa! Sphere goes around the bike. You go flying up into the sphere, back down onto the bike. Sphere closes.
Constantly going around.
You
round
live
the
in a
sphere.
cartoon world. But what if the accident was something that was kind of an off-the-cliff accident with a hill? So it goes, bike goes, oh, I'm in danger. Sphere, you're both now tumbling down a hill. I mean, with
No.
two people, already it's going to be kind of a problem.
Hear me out.
You and a motorbike.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
This is the genius of the idea that
Yeah.
I've just created. Same situation.
Yeah.
Driving along. Ooh, flip. Grand Canyon. What happens? Sphere goes.
Yeah.
Right. The bike wheel obviously spins, making the wheel kind of the zorb do that. You hit the ground and you shoot back up. And because
like
of the
a
spin
big-
action,
Big
back
hamster
on
wheel
plan.
kind of situation.
So off, back up.
And no
Good.
problem.
Right.
Right on to work.
Done.
Nice. Well, we've completely changed that invention, but I think for the better and for the
I
more
don't know.
exciting.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Could be for the worse. I really like the idea of bat wings, though, when you fall off a motorbike. I don't see why, like, more motorcyclists don't have that.
I mean, it's not great if you're in the city and you hit a T-junction and you go flying straight into a building.
Yeah, but it's not great, but you would meet me in my car with the 4 brakes and the indicator because I'm in that meadow already.
So it works.
That's true. Well, that brings us to the end of this week's Brothers Streep Garage of Groundbreaking Inventions. If you liked it, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends and maybe even post a comment about some inventions that you might have of your own. We're going to be on a break for the next week, but come back. Goodbye.